So now we move on. We're moving to another couple of regions within Scotland, and if I've got this right, these are two of the more popular regions, especially in terms of production sizes and things like that. So we move into the Highlands, which is obviously the other side, where the mountains are, and also Speyside, which is up on the northeast coast, I think I've got this right.
Yeah.
And so this is where a lot of whiskies, a lot of the more popular whiskies come from. And so Pete, you're going to take us through a couple and let us know what you'd recommend to start with them.
Indeed, and we've got two really popular whiskies here today. Glenfiddich, which is our example from Speyside. So Speyside is the region along either bank of the River Spey. And then Talisker, which is an example of a Highlands single malt whisky, and that comes from the Isle of Skye, so over on the west coast. With Speyside whiskies, we're looking at a sweeter taste, which is often imparted by sherry casks. It does indeed.
It smells like dried fruit and dried raisins.
Exactly, those kind of Christmas cake and dried fruit flavours are classic sherry flavours and are often found in Speyside whiskies. Highland is a bit more nebulous. There's not one style that describes Highland whisky. When after you've carved out the other whisky producing regions of Scotland, pretty much whatever's left is a Highland whisky. So we've gone for Talisker because Talisker has an interesting story behind it. At the moment it's the only distillery on the Isle of Skye. It's a big tourist attraction. But the whisky itself, you've got maybe a little bit of a salty tang.
Absolutely.
One of the characteristics of Talisker.
I like this one because it's still got the fruit there, which I love, and it almost smells like panettone in a glass.
Yeah.
And then when I taste it, it's still like it's concentrated. It's much fuller and it's much fatter on the tongue, and it's a little bit more it's more interesting on the finish, which I like. So it's still keeping the sweetness, which I love, and the roundness, without getting too smoky and savoury and too crazy, but it is more interesting, and I wouldn't want to put Coca-Cola in this.
Definitely not, definitely not.
Very, very briefly as you can, I just want to ask a little bit about the age statements on the bottle. So the Talisker here, we've got age 10 years on the bottle. The Glenfiddich, I think, is 12, if I'm right.
Yeah.
It says age 12 years. Very, very briefly, what does that mean to us?
That means that the youngest whisky in that bottle has been aged for 10 years or 12 years. There might be some casks of whisky that have been mixed in, that have been blended in, which are older, but the minimum age in that bottle is 10 years or 12 years.
It's actually very good value when you think about whisky in general.
It can be, particularly when you get up to much older whiskies, so bottlings of 25, 30, 40-year-olds, when those are minimum age statements. There could be much, much older whiskies inside those bottles too.
Very cool. Right, on to the next one, I reckon.